Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Friday, September 19th. Finally, Friday, the end of the week, so we'll see what's going on. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And welcome to the show this morning. I hope everybody's having a great morning here. And let's see. I don't know why this thing the last two mornings doesn't want to work, but I got to do it like that. And there you go. There is your heat map, and it's not looking pretty bad. It's not looking bad. Apple just went up a little bit, and NVIDIA is still down some. NVIDIA actually was jumping up yesterday, not looking bad, and it's sitting on that support line. I'd assume it's getting set up. It might bounce down one last time. You can see it coming up to that MACD. We'll look at it today and see what's going on, and of course, we'll look at our SPY to start the show, and it's down 60 cents. But also not looking bad. It looks like it still wants to crawl up into that top, and they'll probably leave it flat right there at the for a Friday. It's a perfect spot for them, and they like to leave it there every weekend like that. So it's hard to tell exactly what's going to be happening for the next week. Good morning, Cadence and Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez and Asian Joe Lee, Doge Mama 9, and all of everybody. How are we this morning? And here we go. Speaking of Asian Joe Lee, let's go right through to Joe Lee's jumpers here in ADAP. There we are. That is still jumping up. Look at that bad boy in the top. Looks like it wants to run up a little bit more. And AGMH was running up. We were looking at it last night, and that did pop up some more right there this morning. AGMH. Let's see right here. There you go. It was running up, and it ran up a little bit this morning right there. And ASST is another one we've been looking at. And let's see. It's a little bit of pullback there. It was jumping up in the after hours. I know that overnight it had gapped up there, and it's hitting that 50, and we'll see what's up with it today. And but definitely one that's going to get set up right here, and maybe have a little bit of time down in this area and wants to bounce back off. But we'll keep an eye on that Strive right there. And Bitfarms is pulling back a little bit right there. And I'm not saying it's not going to crawl back up into the top, but it is coming up to a weekend, and it jumped up big time. And I know Doge Mama 9 was going to take some profits, and I was saying it might be a good idea up there. Anytime they run up like that, you want to lock them in somewhere. And Butterfly Network is flying up there a little bit today. BFLY, not even familiar with the Butterfly, but it was cruising there yesterday. It may still run up today, actually, so keep an eye on your Butterfly, BFLY, and FAAS right here. That was trying to get set up the other day. Where'd it go? Did it not, did it leave? I don't even see it. That's strange. Did they change it or something, or did it get delisted? It's DigiAsia. I know that. I don't see it over there, but I see it here, September 18th, not doing anything yet today. And I'm not sure what's going on. Delisting, voluntary delisting. So there you go. They might be done right there today. I'm not sure, Larry. So how are you this morning? And Doge Mom and 9 and everybody else. And let's see what's going on with GPUS. That was trying to move yesterday. It's an aerospace and defense one. I'm not so sure about this guy right here. And Ben was actually saying, like, they just keep putting press releases out every morning, and it just keeps dipping down. So something's going on there. And then they just turn to Bitcoin treasury. So they're really trying to make some money right there for some crazy reason. I guess they're going down. And GV is Visionary Holdings right here. And that thing had popped up the other day. I know that. It's just kind of hanging out. Let's see what GV's doing. GV right there. And yeah, it's just kind of hanging out. Big run up the other day there. And LASE, that was moving around yesterday. That looks good this morning. Keep an eye on this laser photonics. That's not bad right there. LASE and MGIH right now. Well, let me put a G in. IH. And that was spike. Remember, I was saying this thing likes to run around a lot. We were looking at it, and it does run around a lot right there. And open right here. Good old open door is pulling back. And again, I said, don't mess with that thing at the moment. So good. I know we've looked at this many times. It used to go on the list SOWG. And let's see, that thing is popping up there. I mean, it's been way down, but it is popping up this morning for good old so good right there. And YAS is cruising along as well. It was up a little bit yesterday. And we'll see if it's up this morning right there, just a hair. And again, that one's not looking bad. It did jump up right there. So we'll keep an eye on that YAAS right there. What about our Raya right here? Just a little bit of pullback still in the high fives. And it does look like some healthy pullback coming out of the basement. So that one could still continue to cruise up there. ORIS, we were looking at that one as well to see if it wanted to continue to set up. And it does appear like it wants to right there. So not looking bad. How about FedEx after the earnings right there? That's way up. And let's see, is it pulling back any? FDX right here. Yeah, just a little bit, but still run up pretty well and looks pretty good there. So let's go ahead and we'll look at our Mag 7 and them guys. That CoreWeave right here, 2 times looking pretty good, I must say. So definitely keep an eye on that. And CRWV is CoreWeave, and that is up a little bit right there, hitting that resistance. And of course, our Tesla back to that 420, and it is staying in the top right there. There's all kinds of crazy action at the end of next week, so we will be keeping an eye on Tesla. So there you go with them. And then here we are with our SPY. It is down a little bit, but not looking bad. It's just going to stay flat probably today, and you won't have a whole lot going on there. Apple right here is at $1.74, hitting that resistance, and I'm not so sure it's going to break through today, but it's trying to get set up. And Amazon was setting up. It was pulling back there, but again, this one's going to get ready to rock and roll. I think next week it might be another little setup week, and then it's going to get rolling. So that's what it looks like. And obviously, we said like right towards the end of the second week of September, right around there, watch out. And these things are really going to be getting set up here. We had the rate cut. That was good. And it does look pretty good in the market. Google right here. It looks like it wants to roll off the MACD and just keep going up. Sort of how like Microsoft just kept going up here, and this thing just kept ripping up there. That's what Google looks like at the moment. If you look at it, it's kind of wanting to run up there. It's out of the channel, but it's going to make a whole different one now and keep on going. It's pretty impressive. Google looking good. Meta right here not looking bad either, so keep an eye on that one. And let's see what Microsoft is doing. We were just saying Microsoft, but yeah, this one looks really good right there to get rolling really soon. And again, the video right here is pulled back a little bit right onto that line, but it was jumping up yesterday and looking pretty good right there. So we will be watching that one. And of course, Tesla's back to 420, and Elon's taking a smoke break this morning. And happy Friday, Sam and Zach and everybody else. How are we? And Larry. And let's see what else is going on with our other guys right here. AMC, another one. Oh, man, next week's going to be a good one. I'm telling you, that could be where it gets all kicked off right there with these meme guys. You can see GameStop wants to roll right back up as well. And Chewy hasn't been looking bad, down a little bit, but watch this guy get set up. And Unity's been just running up there and probably will continue. It's hitting the MACD. We'll see. It hasn't wanted to come down. Remember, I was saying that the other day. I might have jinxed it right there. And maybe Unity will cross through the MACD. It's hitting it now. It could easily pull itself right back up and hold itself up there today with no problem. And how about Netflix just kind of hanging out right there as well? AVGO took a big dip yesterday, up 91 cents, hitting the I don't know. It doesn't look the best. It is in a bullish channel, but it's a little too wide where it has to get set up. MU is jumping up pretty good yesterday and a little healthy pullback, but that's way at the top as well. And TSM right here run up to its all-time highs yesterday again. And now it's kind of peaking down now at the top. It'll probably, I think it might want to bounce back up. Let's put it that way. That's what it looks like for the TSM at the moment. And SMCI right here isn't looking bad. It's going to get curled up, looking pretty healthy right there. And your AMD right now is pulling back, but looking like it's going to get set up as well. It's just not ready yet, but it's almost there. Next week could be the day for AMD. So that one we might want to keep on our list today, just for that setup right there. And QCOM right here has been going up and will slowly, and look at it, just kind of staying at the top, just flat right there. So just hanging out. It probably will stay right there. And Snow's another one looking pretty good. It's been running up. after I had that little bit of pullback. And PayPal had some news yesterday, ran up a little pullback, but that is getting set up, guys, and going to get moving. You can already see it. And Intel's another one that had run up big yesterday and a little bit of pullback, but that looks like it could easily bounce back up at the moment. And Dell just down a hair, getting ready to rock and roll. And IBM's been looking good and still cruising up there. So there you go with your IBM. And how about your Palantir right here? Just ripping up yesterday a little bit, little healthy pullback, nothing bad right there. Sophie down a penny, but that one's going to be bullish right now. And Marit and Riot not looking bad right there. Riot was jumping up yesterday and it's in the top, pulling back. We'll have to see. Bitcoin and crypto will go through them. They don't look bad. CleanSpark was really ripping up there yesterday, and it's hitting that resistance right now. Could see some pullback on it. MicroStrategy was running up yesterday, and another little healthy pullback right there. Nothing crazy. And how about your Robinhood? That's trying to curl up. Coinbase was looking good yesterday. A little healthy pullback right there as well. And Bull has just been trying to get set up. It hasn't been exactly ready yet, so we're keeping an eye, and I'll let you know when Bull is ready. And Space right here, Virgin Galactic. I'm telling you, this thing's going to be good. It might even get a little bounce up next week off of that support line right there. Boeing curling back up. I don't know if it's really going to pop up, but you're going to get a little movement on that curl up right there for Boeing. And DJT right here, not looking too bad, trying to get set up. Fun was looking pretty good. If I type it in at PHUN right here, it's just flat this morning, but that wasn't looking bad yesterday. McDonald's was dipping down. That looks like it could be that bottom for McDonald's. So we might want to look at that one. Could bounce around a little bit down there for a few days and next week and then get set up for us. So Disney's still coming down. And we didn't think Disney looked good lately. It did. It was set up there for a couple minutes, and then Disney started to dip down with all that entertainment craziness, and Oxy just pulling back a little bit of healthy. ExxonMobil just a little healthiness too, and they do look good. DXYZ right here, not bad. Oh, that one's really getting close, guys. That's going to be a good one. And Nike right here is not looking bad to get set up right there. So Nike had been pulling back. They have earnings. Wait until their earnings, obviously, and then we'll see how Nike looks. But it could pop up off of that earnings being down like that. And Symbotic not looking bad right there. We know that's setting up. Rivian's been running up there and looking healthy at the moment. Sterling was running up big yesterday and continuing its way up this morning. And how about our Sezzle right here? And this is going to get set up to sizzle back up. We already knew it ran pretty healthy right there. And RYM is Rhythm, the old Agrify, and just kind of hanging out right there. So there you go, everybody. That's what it looks like in the market this morning. And our crypto right there, a little pullback. Nothing real crazy. Like I said, Bitcoin at 116 and a little bit of healthy pullback right there going into the weekend. We'll see what's going on. Ethereum looked like it wanted to roll off, and this morning now it's curling through, coming back down through the MACD. I thought it was going to definitely roll right off of there. Solana, I thought was going to easily roll back off too, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. I know Trump, isn't he talking to China today, and they'll be talking about that TikTok deal, so we should be looking at Oracle as well. But here is Ripple right here, and that is getting set up. What's our Doge up to? A little healthy pullback. Stellar right here is going to be stellar. It's still over that MACD. And let's just jump over to Optimism real quick and see what that's at. And that's a little healthy pullback. And the ETF was just kind of hanging out overnight. So nothing crazy there either. So crypto is just a little pullback. And yeah, ETF 574 was at 575. So still looks healthy right there. Not bad for our ETF. And let's see what else is going on here in the market. So there's your crypto, your big caps, Mag 7, our Jolie's jumpers, and everything else that we looked at. Let me see what you guys want to see over here. And there's Cadence and Doge Mama 9 and Larry, Luis Rodriguez and Sam and Zach and then Laptop Travel. Look at that crew right there. Everybody. J.TV's on there. Let's see what's going on. VRME right here, VRME, and Verify Me. This one looks pretty good right there, jumping up, as a matter of fact, in a pretty good spot. I think you might catch a little momentum on this bad boy right there today, Luis Rodriguez. So I'll keep an eye on Verify Me and that ASST right there. Like I said, I'll be watching that thing. Let's see if it can really get turned around. It was jumped up there in the after or in the overnight hours. I know that because it was down here in the threes, and then it popped up, and like I said, hitting the 50, and you might just have a quick little setup period going in the next week, but that will look good right there. CDLX, let's see what Cardalytics, something like that, is doing. That's in the top. You might still get a more bounce off of CDLX right here. And that's the one that we were looking at last night. I remember CDLX. I was going to say, I do remember this one. Ben gave this out. It did jump out over the overnight, but it did pull back right there. So it's at 298 at the moment, but you did get some run up, and we'll see. It's in that channel right there, so it doesn't look terrible. It's just trying to get set up a little bit better, but it did run up a little bit there. CJET right now, and like I said the other day, remember I told you guys this thing was looking pretty good. Look at that, up 44% right there. Who got into that CJET right now? Larry, there you go. Larry, were you in this one? Because we were talking about this. I said it was looking pretty good the other day. So there you are with CJET and CDLX we just looked at, and TTD is getting set up as well, guys. I had some nice pullback yesterday again, and it didn't get down to that bottom yet, but that was a good opportunity, I think, on that pullback. So there you go with your TTD right there, Larry, and I think that is a good one. And Tilray, that's been looking pretty decent right here in the cannabis sector. It's getting crawled. I don't think it's getting through at the moment, but you're going to see something with the cannabis industry coming out relatively soon. You can see that happening, and I know I've been saying it, but you can see it happening a little bit. It's just getting set up to go down. So that is what's going on in the cannabis industry. And Laptop Travel said he's here. And AGMH, that one did run up, isn't that? Oh no, wait, which one ran up? AGMH. That's not AGMH. That's why this one ran up. I know that. AGMH. We were talking about it last night in that ASST. And So Good. We were talking about that one. That one did pop up there. Good old So Good. And KOPN, what's that up to? It just jumped up, still looking good, trying to get up into the top. So there you go on that one. And PHH, Parcob Biological Technical Company. And I don't even know this one right here. PHH right here. And let's see what's going on. And it's funny, I told the story. I used to work for a big mortgage company back in the day, and their name used to be PHH, and then it changed its name. And it wasn't the stock ticker. I forget what the stock ticker is, to be completely honest with you. But that's PHH right there. And yeah, I used to work at that mortgage company in New Jersey. They were, I think, the second largest employer at one point in New Jersey. And I said they had these 4 corporate buildings that were huge, like cafeterias in there. They were awesome. And I was younger. I was in like college days, and it was pretty cool. And then they don't own any of them buildings anymore. And I worked right across the street from there at NFL Films as a chef. It was kind of weird. So yeah, it was kind of cool that I had been like all throughout that entire complex right there and all the cool buildings. But anyway, little story about my background. PHH right there. Again, it looks like it could be getting set up. I'd have to look at it today. You can see it's been trying to slowly get up here. It's been slowly getting up, and now the 20's picking it up. So it does look a little bit better right there for your PHHJ.TV. So I'm going to jot it down, and I'll take a quick look at it today and see what's going on. And what's WU, that Western Union? That's up like a penny. That looked like it was going to be pulling back. And OP right here, that Ocean Pal. And let's see, it was starting to get to be in a great spot right there. I'd say next week might be a really good one. You might get a little jump up on OP today. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. DUOL up a little bit, hitting that resistance at the 20, but nothing bad. And Grab was just kind of hitting resistance this morning up at the top. Nothing crazy right there. And Adobe was up a little bit, and that looks pretty good. Oracle, not bad. And again, I think Trump's talking to Z or whatever his name is in China. And I think they're talking about TikTok and QS. There you go. It ran up a little bit right there. QuantumScape. We were talking about that last night, as a matter of fact. And let's see, what else were we liking? Then we looked at RI and ORIS and EPIX right there. That one's still trying to cruise along. UNH. Let's see. That one's still moving. That one's getting set up right now. And QMCO is still looking pretty decent right there. Not real bad. And BMNR, a little bit of healthy pullback at the moment. So there you go with that. And we did look at that Bitfarms, and that was coming down. And I guess crypto is pulling back just a hair, but maybe it needs to get set back up again. So we had looked at crypto already, ABTC. That's also pulling back. So yeah, you still got a little bit of time with all that stuff. And there you go right there. And let's see, that CJET is running. I know we talked about that the other day, ASST and BMNR, ABC. I wasn't even looking at your list, Laptop Travel. I was just going through and happened to pick out like all them bad boys. And MicroStrategy, we had looked at that down a little bit right there, and I just think it's going to be a flatter day, and that circle is looking good to continue its way up. That is for sure right there. So and there you go. And yeah, CJET looking real nice. And I know we were talking about that the other day and saying it was going to get curled up, and look at that bad boy. It just had that look right there. And there you go. So, we give them all out. And there you are on the show. And let's see what else is going on with our news. The TikTok deal tops the agenda for Trump's call with Z. I said that, didn't I? In central bank bonanza, and how Tesla metamorphoses may see its stock surge to 3,000 in just 10 years. That's Tesla. And stock's cool after busy week as dollar extends gain, and the stock market futures X and Trump call expected there. So there we are, and that is what is going on in our news. And let's see if we see anything happening over here besides CJET, because that does look good. And ADAP had been running up some more AGMH, and that XXII. We were looking at this thing a little while back, and it just did not want to get moving. That 20-second it's a tobacco company, but they do cannabis stuff, and finally it got running there, but it's been a while in the basement. So I remember looking at that bad boy. And MGIH right there is cruising. YAS is looking pretty good, and that CDLX had jumped up there this morning, pulling back a little bit, and you're so good. And Datavolt DVLT, that is trying to get set up. That might be a good one for next week. ASST is running up, and ATCH a little bit of pullback, but had recently run up pretty big. There's our Raya, a little healthy pullback. Let's see, what is Plug? And this guy is just down a hair right there. That could be pulling back. It could bounce back up into the top. And BBAI, just a little healthy pullback there going into the weekend. So there you go with them guys. And let's see what's going on this side over here. And Blinn, that was trying to spike up there. CJET ATMV right there. What is that one? An acquisition shell company trying to run. There's that XXII and then MGIH. And Brio was running up last night and still looked pretty good. I think this morning maybe it was I'm not sure if it was still spiking up. Yeah, it was running up, but not as high as yesterday. It was running up pretty good yesterday there. And let's see what else is going on. That's all that's going on that page. So not a whole lot. IONQ actually pulling back too. So seeing a little healthy pullback right here. And there you go, everybody. I would say that is what we're looking at in the market. And we did our Joey's jumpers, our crypto, Mag 7, SPY, everything, and looked at what everybody wanted to see right there. But yeah, there you go. It's your SPY, just down a little. It's been going down a little more as the morning's going on there. So that is what our stock market looks like to wrap up the week. Nothing crazy, I don't think. Just a little healthy pullback, and maybe we get a little bit of pullback there, but nothing real wild. I'm telling you, it's going to be a market getting set up to get running relatively soon here, as it's been running already. I mean, we're in bubble territory here. Look at this thing. It's got a beautiful channel right here, and you're going to keep pushing up towards that 675, and we're at 661 on the SPY, and it's what it looks like at the moment. So yeah, I think we kind of went through everything. I'm just looking around to see if I missed anything right here. What is this one doing? SNPS, that's still filling the gap. Nah, it pulled back just a hair right there, huh? That was still looking pretty strong. So yeah, the big caps aren't looking. What's the IWM up to? That's down 20 cents after its all-time highs up there, and not looking bad. And then that's not bad. That one looks pretty good, guys. Keep an eye on that one right there. IINN looking pretty good. And what's that green wave up to? That wasn't looking bad. It's just kind of sitting there. Hims, and that's down actually this morning. So there you go. And yeah, AGMH, we had that. Laptop Travel had it on the top of his list last night. And I said that thing looks really good. And bam, look at that thing up over 100% right there. So there you go. We went through that last night. I know that. And I had marked it down. So, and I even went through the Laptop Travel list and told you which ones were looking pretty good to start popping just for today because it was a Friday right there. And let's see, LMFA. Some of these are just kind of hanging out there, but that first one did pop. All you had to do is take the very first one, AGMH, and boom, over 100% right there. So nice call, Laptop Travel. And there you go. Get it, get it, get it, Luis Rodriguez. That's his morning vibe right there. So I like it. And I think the market's going to be quite fine today, just maybe a little bit slow going into the weekend. It's not the first time we've ever seen that either. So we're pretty used to it. And then also, we'll see what happens. It could be a little slow because there's a call between Trump and Z this morning. So that could make things fired up after you get that call and that news come out, the news press for that. So the press release or whatever they do and tell you the transcript or whatever they do for that. So yeah, there you are, everybody. And yeah, KOPN, look at that hitting its new highs right there for Copin. So looking pretty good. And there you are for our Friday morning. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff, and definitely like the show. I greatly appreciate it. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence and enjoy your Friday, everybody. And be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. That's pretty important, especially on a weekend right there. And there are some pullbacks. Obviously, they can run back up next week, but do you really want to that's where you go with your probabilities and risks, guys, and you got to lock them in. And if you need the lesson, go ahead on my X page and look at the pinned video right there from NXTT the other day, and that'll tell you why you need to lock in those profits as it's up. So there you are, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later. Any questions, shoot me a message on X, and we'll be getting ready to crush the Discord. Like I said, we're going to be doing the live trading on the daily going forward, and everything else. So it's going to be getting really good. The night note's been on fire, and I'm going to be putting the prices in there where I think the buys and sells should be around. Obviously, they won't be perfect because you can't do exactly, but we're getting pretty good. And then you can tell as they start to move. So as they're moving, I'll be updating it too. So we'll be a lot more active in there and everything else. So thank you again, everybody. Be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits, like I said. And goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everyone.